taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
But yeah, man, it's time to get into our pound for pound discussion. You know, because like I said, it's about time we need to do that because, the second half of last year, you know, there was definitely some movement among the pound for pound. You know, some disappeared off pound for pound list completely. Some moved up, some moved a little downward. It's all over the place, though. But as always, man, you know, Ring is gonna bring it to you with the, you know, how we do it, how we rank it, and you know, one of the things too. Obviously, we're split on who's number one, but everything else is pretty much like, you know, up for grabs.
Hold on. We're split. Pretty sure 3 out of 4 of us have the same number one. Did we? Oh no, maybe not.
No. Nigga, really? You don't even look at the graphics I be putting together, like.
No, I did. No, that's my bad. I fucked up.
I even put a picture for the number one.
Yeah, no, you're right. My bad.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, there was no overwhelming, like, it was split down the middle for number one. So do we want to go from 15 up?
15 up, because that's how you're actually supposed to do it.
Yeah. All right, so LB, since you put together the stuff, I'll let you go first with your 15, your number 15.
Oh, okay, yeah, let me pull that.
By the way, it's a dope graphic. By the way, so y'all need to put some.
Yeah,
my man LB has skills.
Yeah, I shared it in the tweet, so check that out. Definitely at Ring Gang Radio for sure. On Twitter.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'll run through it real quick. I got the God Monster in a way himself is number one.
15 up, bro. 15 up.
Oh, 15 up. Bro, I forgot. My bad.
What are we doing?
Scroll down, pilot.
We both did a boo-boo. Pause.
You got number 15 with David Benavidez, who he low-key got the juice. He's like the uncrowned king of super middleweight right now. He had a hell of
a year. I thought about putting him in there. Yeah, he should have.
It just, you know, niggas is ducking him, so he can't help who he is.
He's improved his IQ. It's like 12 to 20 is. I mean, 12. Like I feel like there's guys left out, right? But I feel like after like a certain number, it's hard to, you know, it's hard to really rank. You know, it's like it's hard to really rank these guys because I feel like there's a lot of good fighters that could be on this list that aren't.
No, I agree. It's just niggas got to start being active against top level fighters. So you know that makes it a little easier. But David Benavidez had a great year last year. Good. And since he's the uncrowned king, he's been, you know, he got to get acknowledged somehow. So I got him at 15. Just because no one don't want it with this nigga. 14 is Ioka, who's been solid and doing his thing for years. So he deserves a spot. Teofimo Lopez kind of bounced back last year with a good win. And it was an upset.
It was like
he styled on niggas, so he would have probably been a little higher if he stopped them.
Yeah,
but, you know, because it was a type of fight where, you know, it was a star making type of fight. You put that version of Josh Taylor in front of, you know, Prime Kasazu or Zab or one of them niggas from back in the day, and he gets stopped. Like, you don't think Zab stops that version?
No, for sure. That's my thing. Like, obviously with T.O. fighting Thursday, I want him to get a knockout because at 35 he had power. 40, like a guy like Camp, he got the stoppage on Camp, but it took him. You know, he took him a lot longer. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah,
these niggas gonna be setting up these shots, man.
And he still got power, but his zap isn't there like it was at 35.
Yeah, like, you gotta do more than pot shot, but he's still. So yeah, I got him at 13. Number 12 is Shakur Stevenson, who hasn't really been impressive, but he's still undefeated, multiple division champion. Decent resume, but he hasn't fought somebody that's truly like dangerous yet. That's like on his level. So we don't know the real him yet. But we'll find out soon enough. But yeah, he's 12. Number 11 is Tank, who I think had a good year last year as well. He had the Garcia twins and solid wins. And he still, like I said before, like it's, he deserves a spot because can you really name 15 world-class niggas better than Tank? And I don't think you can.
No.
So he'll always be in the top 15. He does need to fight better opponents now. So yeah, that remains to be seen. But he's in the outside of the top 10. Number 10 is Jermell Charlo. He kind of plummeted because, you don't really get points for like beating up your girl and, not throwing hands in the biggest fight of your career. Like,
that he was probably one of the biggest disappointments of the year for me. I'm just like,
he was.
Yeah, as much as we all put respect on his name for being undisputed, and then he pulls that. I mean, if I think he didn't even try. That was the worst thing. Yeah,
he didn't train. He didn't talk shit. He didn't do nothing. He just wasted everybody's bumper clock time. You're fucking lucky y'all left at number 10, boy. Y'all box your blood clot mouth, y'all. Piss poor kidney performance like that. Nigga, I'm just done with this nigga. But I still respect him though, so and I'm not one of these guys. He did go the distance with somebody who was 2 divisions higher. So that's the only reason he didn't really get he's still number 10. Like he's still in the top 10. Because I ain't had no problem putting him on there like some of you cracker ass motherfuckers did. So
right.
So I ain't just gonna throw him off at the first sign of adversity or nothing like that. But he probably won't be there by next time if people have better performances or if he doesn't fight again. But he's one of those guys, like somebody in his division got to really beat his ass for me to just drop him out. So he's number 10. Number 9 is Navarrete, who I felt like had a good year last year. Maybe some tougher than expected moments, but still a quality year. And if you fighting 3 fights a year and they're all world class, you're gonna get my fucking respect.
Word on.
So yeah, definitely he's number 9 and multiple division champ. Solid resume. Yeah, can't really say nothing bad about him. One of the best uppercuts in the game, basically. He really throws them screw uppers like Joe Higashi.
Yeah.
And fuck people up with them. So yeah. Number 8 is Bam, who like he on fire like Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yo, facts.
Just fucking people up. He really, like, he was always quality, but I kind of looked at him differently after he got his jaw broke and went life and death with that regular, I don't want to call him a jobber, but with that fringe contender dude he had struggled with.
Yeah, and that was probably because he was probably burnt. Yeah, because he had already been like, he already fought like 3 times that year or something like that. Or
yeah. So that was his dog bait performance, but he still won though, so that's good. But he kind of really took hold of his career with that Edwards performance. That's that performance against Sonny Edwards. So like he really put his foot in dude's ass, and that was a good fucking fight. The boy with the Castlevania whip jab. Yeah, for real, right? Like,
Castlevania whip jab.
That shit, he got that Belmont jab. Oh shit, he be fucking that. God damn, you made me miss playing that shit. Jeez, like, I'll turn into a wolf on these niggas. So yeah, Bam at number 8. Like, his resume is pretty damn good. Young dude holding it down. And I always want to give dudes respect for fighting guys that's in their prime, in their division, like other. So the Sonny Edwards win kind of holds more credit for me than than the other, like Quadras and what's the other nigga he beat? The rap guy. Yeah, him. So that's why I fucked with this. As number 8. Number 7 is Canelo, who ain't really been impressive. Like, and you got to have somebody ahead of Jermell Charlo. So that's really how he kept his. Because he hasn't done a goddamn thing impressive in a while, son. So Canelo's just kind of there for the moment, like, you know. If Bam or Navarrete turn it up, they'll be ahead of him. But yeah, all that super undisputed middleweight bullshit, that don't really mean nothing to me if you ain't fighting David Benavidez yet. So fucking kick rocks, and you fucking Stans could kick fucking rocks too.
Last 3 guys he brought up, and I mean, Ryder was kind of 168, but you know, fighting Charlo and maybe not, you know, Crawford, that's kind of crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, like, dude, like, fight 3 times a year and knock out all 3 of them dudes. Then we'll talk. But until then, like, yeah, I'm good. Number 6 is Bivol, who he's always going to be ahead of Canelo on the pound for pound list. Like, that's it. Like, until Canelo beats him or beats David Benavidez, or Bivol loses to Beterbiev, they're always going to just be right next to each other. Like,
word.
Like, y'all are tied to each other until one of y'all get a good win. Because y'all literally ain't really done much soon, you know what I mean, since that time. Although he gets credit for the Zerto fight. Niggas forget about that. So Bivol's still a top 10 guy. The Arthur fight was good, but he needed a knockout in that. So got me looking at him like, nigga, really? Usyk is number 5 because you can't be doing all that Emmy Award nominated shit with Dubois. Like, no, that wasn't cool. Like, you know, there's some nigga out there who could really say you didn't win that shit.
Right. Yeah.
So,
that's the worst. That's the worst thing.
And it's like you kind of gave Dubois a chance to resurrect his career, which he did. So yeah. So it's not like you didn't really help the division or anything. You kind of murked it up some more. Like,
facts.
You threw piranhas in a canal with alligators, nigga. Like you just did some stupid shit.
Facts.
So you're number 5. Like, number 4 is Haney because he's been putting in work. Even though I had Loma winning his fight, it was still a close, good fight where, you know, either guy could have won, so he gets credit for that. And then he shuts out Program, drops him. Yeah, that's number 4 pound for pound in my book. He got a bright future. He's doing all the shit that y'all want y'all niggas to do, but they ain't doing. You know, he's taking whatever deals, making shit happen. So salute to Haney.
Facts.
Number 3 better be for like obvious reasons. If you don't have him at number 3, then our top 5, I don't know what to say at this point because like, dude, just the destructive force in boxing. When he beats Bivol, he'll literally be like maybe 2 at that point, like maybe 1. I don't know, but that's even though it's just one division. Some divisions get extra credit when you clear out a division or you beat everybody there or to beat the best names because the division is so competitive or deadly or dangerous. Mm-hmm. So when you become the nigga at 140 or 154 or 175, where you're not gonna become the dude unless you tangle with some killers, that's always a bigger boost than if you the nigga at 168 or 160 or 130 or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Like, it just hit different. So guys like Charlo, Haney, and Beterbiev, like they just gotta keep winning really to keep their spots where, you know, because they in the danger zone for them divisions.
Word.
So yeah, Beterbiev definitely number 3 worthy. Cause and the Callum Smith, like no one's ever did Callum Smith like that. So that counts for fucking something. Number 2 is Crawford, who he easily could be like the best American boxer in the country right now. And it's like self-explanatory. The Spence win was big. Multiple division champion, 2-time undisputed. Besides Clarissa Shields,
of course. Besides Clarissa Shields.
But yeah. like Crawford, like honestly, I can understand Crawford being number 1 for certain people, but for me, he's number 2 because he just literally had the biggest, best fight of his career last year, and most niggas on the list already had the biggest fight. Huh?
To me, as long as you have Inoue or Bud 1 or 2, you're good. I mean, really. I mean, as long as they're the top 2, because I feel like it's them 2 and everybody else. I'm just saying.
It is. The only way I see it being a 3-way split, if Bitterbeef beats Bivol, then he's like right there with them niggas. Then if somebody was like, "Yo, Bitterbeef's number 1," I'm not even gonna argue that because that's a big deal to me. So, and remember, like when you beat motherfuckers by KO, it just hit different.
What if Usyk stops Fury somehow? Would he be?
Usyk stops Fury, which I don't think is gonna happen. But if he does, he might really. Cause I don't. You know what? I wouldn't argue if someone says he deserves to be number 1.
He would have a strong case for it.
Yeah, he'd have a. That's the thing. Like all those niggas would have a strong case. Like I don't know. Like Haney would have to beat Tank for him to be number 1. He'll have a case for that. Like because he's already number 4.
Yeah.
Or if Haney was to beat Teofimo Lopez, he's number 1. Like Monster, it's not too much he could do to not stay number 1. There's more people who have to do something better than what he's been doing type shit.
He would have to lose. I mean, some people he'd have to lose to ever get.
Yeah, he'd have to lose, or Crawford would have to beat Canelo, and then even though that would be the first fight, I wouldn't mind a double knockout, but like that'd be my prop bet. Like, pan the camera to Benavidez and Boots' face in the crowd when it happens, and then y'all could go back to. Then y'all can see me on live, like. But yeah, that's my list, man. Inoue number 1. Like, come on, bro. Like he's moving up in weight, bodying niggas since the fucking Jamie McDonald fight. Like nigga just steps up in weight, bodies dude. So ain't too many people doing that. They get accustomed to their division. They might win a close decision, but they ain't really fire spitting. You know what I mean? Like they ain't doing it like Inoue doing it. Like he's the closest person to a perfect fighter right now for me. And when I say that, everything he does is either a 9 or a 10. And I don't think no one else on that list come close to that. Even though I know they got some 10s, like, But yeah, that's it for me.
That's what it is. AOP, all right, your turn, bro. Tell us your list.
All right, cool. So, next up, I got my list up. My top 15.
I thought you was going to say, I believe that's me, nigga. I was like, right.
I already did it once, so you already know the deal. But so I'm gonna do from 15 up to number 1, and from 15 to 12, this is the bracket where everybody that was higher up dropped off for reasons, either losing really badly or looking really badly. And I'll start off with number 15, Mr. Shakur Stevenson. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I punished him for that horrible performance. Like, probably the worst performance of the year, and he won the fight, and it was that bad.
Yeah.
Like, he looked terrible. Look, tripping over himself. Like, dude was fighting mad scary. Put everybody to sleep. He might as well have lost the fight the way he put
on a Thursday night, no less.
Yeah, we all lost that night. He
lost more, in terms of like his clout or whatever you want to call it. He lost in a win more than some niggas that lose.
Yeah.
And that's why I put him at 15, because I made a point that your stock can still drop even in a loss, like even in a win. So yeah, in a win. That's what I was saying. So yeah, he's at 15. If he rebounds, has some good performances, I'll move him up the list. But Fulton was higher up on the list, unified champion at 122, and then got dominated by Inoue, the monster. So yeah, he's got to drop down. Same as Errol Spence, unified champion at welterweight, very good wins, but when you get dominated like that, you got to drop. So another one. This is all the droppers. This is Drop Mania from 12 to 15. Jermell Charlo, Drop City, like undisputed, I know, but your performance in his last fight against Canelo was horrible. So yeah, you had to drop. I never I had you in my top 5, like top 3, and you put up a performance like that. No, yeah, you got to go all the way down. So,
word.
Number 11, Gervonta Tank Davis. Had good performances last year. We still want to see him fight better guys, but yes, last year was a good year. The names were good. So if he fights the better names,
don't tell Pat, nigga.
Yeah, no, I mean I can understand why he wouldn't put him on the list or like this, but like I said, all the other guys that lost got to go below him. He looked good, pause last year, dominated in his performances, whatever you want to say. I gave them. I thought they were quality performances, even if you didn't think they were top tier guys, big names. So
if you would have said drop one more time, I would have said you better play the fucking Far Side song now, nigga.
Yeah. So nobody here is nobody from this point on is really doing the Far Side. So we're the coast is clear. From here, it's really people that are elevated. Number 10 being David Benavidez, who definitely made his case for top 10 by, dominating the super middleweight division, beating the guy, the Caleb Plant, that yes, he lost to Canelo, and Benavidez beat the shit out of him. Didn't stop him, but that's the only thing. But
yeah, because the ref fucked it up. We always have to make sure the ref fucked it up when he was Plant was about to get stopped.
Yes. So, and then he went on and had a dominant performance against Demetrius Andrade, very skilled fighter. We've always praised Andrade for his skills. Unfortunately, he always hadn't had the best, opportunities, but he's still a very, very skilled fighter, and I've always thought very highly of Andrade. So beating him in that fashion, that means a lot to me. So I rate that highly. And so I rate Benavidez highly. So he's rounding out the top 10, starting off. So number 9, one Jesse Bam Rodriguez, champion, dominant flyweight champion, and in his last performance, he dominated Sonny Edwards, who I rate very highly, is now the unified flyweight champion. Give him his props. He was dominant. He just looked like a special fighter. So he's in the 10. He's in my top 10. Number 9. Number 8, a guy that I had on, years ago and then dropped him, has found his way back to the list. One Teofimo Lopez, a guy that dominated the top guy at 140 in Josh Taylor, the former undisputed champion. Dominated, made it look easy. Too bad he didn't stop him, but it was a dominant performance nonetheless. So I got to give Tio his props for that. So hopefully this year he won't drop by having a bullshit year, but we'll see. Tio's the other one, goes up and down on the list because he likes to have his best performances against the top guys and then watch him put in a clunker against Jermaine and have me drop him. but whatever. Let's hope not.
And you know that possibility is possible, nigga.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I see the tweet you had, nigga, with the 7 out of 10.
Yes, I'm low key expecting him to just overlook Jermaine and have Jermaine win a couple rounds on the jab.
A focused heel looks like one of the best. A focused heel looks like one of the best fighters in the world. But obviously the Sandor fight, Cambosis, it's kind of like damn.
Yeah, but for now, he's back in the top 10. He's at number 8. He can go higher or lower. Number 7, Dimitri Bivol, top fighter. I had him higher. Unfortunately, I dropped him a little lower because of the inactivity and was not a fan of his last performance against Lyndon Arthur. Wasn't exactly the best performance to me. So dropped him a little bit, but he's still a top fighter. And if he beats Beterbiev, then he moves right back up higher. And speaking of Artur Beterbiev, he's number 6 on my list. Unified champion, light heavyweight. Good performance against Yard, and then dominated Callum Smith. Beat the shit out of him. Like, that's how you beat the shit out of someone. Talking to you, Canelo. No.
Bars.
Definitely. So, and Beterbiev will go up even higher if he beats Bivol. So, number 5, Canelo Alvarez. Gotta admit, I bumped him up simply because of how dominant he looked against a guy that I had very high in the pound for pound list in Jermell Charlo. So if I'm gonna punish someone for looking horrible and being dominated, I gotta reward people for dominating. It's only fair. So.
Oh wow, yes. We should really reward a nigga beating up a little guy. Yeah. That he didn't knock out.
You pick that little guy that you picked
on your list, nigga.
The little guy that you picked. Hey, listen, like I said, it's got to be on both ends. I'm consistent. If I'm punishing someone for being dominated, I have to reward the person that did the domination. That's just how it is.
I feel you. Like, me. Jermell had a shot. Like,
now I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm going to be completely honest because one thing about me, if you haven't noticed with these lists, I can be a little petty. And if you piss me off, I will either remove you altogether or drop you. So if Canelo does not fight Benavidez this year, I don't give a fuck. He's getting dropped from on the list. I'm not saying he'll get dropped completely from the list, but he's getting dropped. So
are you going to have him back? You gonna have him up there with Jermell Charlo? You'll take him out the top 10?
Yes, barring a Crawford fight, and even then, depending on I'm still not sure because I think that fight is pie in the sky and whatever. But barring like a dominant win over a Crawford, if he doesn't fight Benavidez, he's getting dropped. Like he'll be in the lower part of the top 10, maybe out the top 10 altogether. I'm petty like that. I don't give a fuck.
Damn, you ain't gonna give him credit for beating the big Charlo if that happens?
I mean, depends on how he looks. And honestly, not really. Like, not really.
Yeah, maybe if this was 2014, nigga. Like,
yeah, like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
If Charlo would, if Jamal was as dominant as Jermell, yeah, I would definitely give him a lot of credit. Coming one fight back from an injury, so yeah, whatever. I'm not thinking much about that. And if he fights Munguia, I might drop him. If he fights Munguia, I might just drop him altogether. So Canelo is like on notice because depending on how he moves this year, he might really piss me off. And when you piss me off, you get dropped on the list. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck. But anyway, yes. Anyways, instead of, bringing people back, like in the video where they're walking backwards in the video, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that's walked forward on the list, one Devin Haney.
Bars.
Coming off an undisputed win, undisputed at 135, had had a victory against Vasily Lomachenko, and I don't give a fuck. He won that fight. I don't want to. If anybody's in the comments, but he should have lost that fight. I don't give a fuck. I thought he won. Cry. Go make your own list, and you can bump him down on the list. Cry. He's on number 4, and then he dominated Regis Prograis, a guy that was in my top 15 not too long ago. So, and he had to get dropped from the list completely because of how bad he looked. So, pitched a shutout. So, now he's a champion in 2 divisions. So, shout out to Devin Haney. He's number 4. And depending on how this year shakes out, he might get bumped up to number 3 in my top 3. So, next is Alexander Usyk. He is my 3rd. Undisputed cruiserweight. Unified heavyweight. Wasn't really all that happy with his last fight against Dubois and his little low blow festivals, but body shots, crying, but it is what it is. So if he beats Fury, we'll see. If not, he'll probably get dropped. I'll be honest. He'll probably get bumped down on the list. So, but for now, he's at number 3. Number 2, Terrence Bud Crawford. Need I say more? Undisputed, 2 different divisions, unified lineal in 3, had a dominant performance over Errol Spence. So he's number 2, and I can understand if you have him number 1. I just have him number 2, and the only reason I don't have him number 1 is because Naoya the Monster Inoue was at number 1 before, and since then he had a dominant performance over Stephen Coolboy Fulton, and so now Inoue is and having a great victory against Sapalas. So undisputed in 2 divisions, 118, 122. Just has the eye test. You know what I'm saying? If you just look at him and you could see that guy's a number 1 pound for pound fighter. Honestly, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I'm starting to wonder if there's like a look for pound. Like, you gotta watch a guy fight and like it's gotta pass the eye test of like he looks like a number 1 pound for pound fighter. Well, in a way, looks like it. He passes the eye test. He's showing it with dominance with the people that he's fought, the belts he's collected, his resume. So he is still a top number 1 pound for pound for me. The monster. Still number 1. Number 1.
No doubt.
Great number 1 pick, bro. I definitely agree with you. Yeah, and he does look like a number 1 pound for pound fighter. Like, because I feel like when you're a number 1, the best fighter in the world, you shouldn't be having rounds where old washed up fighters are landing their jabs on you, or you struggling with guys who never were. Or, even though you knock them out a couple rounds later, but, it's just the whole...
championship, they call niggas bums, but if you're a champion, other than Rolly, championship level fighters are championship level fighters. They're fighting for a championship for the most part. They deserve to be there. So, I'm just saying,
Yeah, I know, but, there was once this guy from, he went around saying Pensacola in the house. and he would treat guys who was like world class. He would treat them like the niggas you would see, like the novice guys starting a card out. Like he was, they would say, he ain't fought nobody, but he just made them look like nobody. So when I look at pound for pound, I do kind of agree with King. Like, you gotta have you gotta look dominant, like. And guys like Roy Jones weren't struggling with niggas or having little bad moments before they outclass or stop niggas. Like, I'm not saying I'm not, mentioning no names, but y'all know who does that. Who's still worthy of being number 1. I'm just saying. But yeah, y'all got it.
Word up. So, Pilot, do you want to go through your list?
Yeah, for sure. So let me just preface by saying I'm pissed off because I thought it. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I thought I added Charlo because I had Charlo pretty high, like P did, before, like we all did. But him fighting like a, he's a fighter. But him fighting like a pussy and for the money, like that's why I forgot him. I mean, I was really high on Jermell, so I just want to preface that. That's why he's not in my top 15 because I think he's probably gonna be retired now. He cashed out. Hey, I mean, the Canelo pay is a great payday, but I expected, go out on your shield, man. I mean, but anyways, with my list, I do have one Errol Spence Jr. at number 15. He got a generational ass whooping, but he did pick up belt by belt. Obviously we had the poll with him and Triple G. He's gonna be a remembered welterweight. I mean, we can say what we want, but in this day and age, he's not gonna have all the scalps. But he is gonna be when you mentioned like a Verdant Forrest, the guys at 147, Spence will be in the mix in the mythical matchup. So if he doesn't come, I mean, I hope he gets a second act, but I don't see it really happening. But I'd like to see it. But yeah, I put him there also because when he got dropped in that second round, he almost won the third. I felt like he came back strong. He went for it. What I'm saying, unlike his gym partner, his boy. At number 14, I got Junto Nakatani, who's fighting soon. This guy is incredibly talented. Like I saw a picture of him and Thurman recently. I saw one with him and Crawford. He's a big dude. Like, Inoue is the best Japanese fighter and the best fighter in the world, arguably. Junto is I'm saying he's right there behind him, but he's the second best Japanese fighter. Japan in boxing, I mean, they've been holding it down. I wish they were on my time so I could watch them shits, but not halfway. That's just way early. But yeah, Junto's special. I think he'll beat Santiago easy. Could be wrong. It's boxing, but 13, I have Navarrete. I had him, because for me, I kind of just have this list and I kind of shuffle around every so often. I had Navarrete in like 9 or 10, but him having that draw with Robson, even though he dropped him 2 or 3 times, like I think Navarrete may have seen better days. I mean, he could still be a champ at 135, but 135, like I think Muratalo will beat him. You know what I mean? I think he's on the downslope. That draw with Robson just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Pause.
I mean, there's also an argument too that he could have lost the fight, although I think the draw was the right one.
Yeah, he dropped him. I mean, he dropped him brutally that second time. And Navarrete's a 3-division champ. He probably be 4, but yeah, that performance and the Liam Wilson one, I can't justify him being too high.
Beat the shit out of Valdez.
He beat Valdez bad. Yeah, he beat Valdez.
He beat the fuck out.
But he got a 22nd count against Liam Wilson. We'll see if Wilson. What I'm saying. So.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. He did go life and death with dude.
Yeah, but he's talented. I mean, again, like I feel like after 9, after 9, you can put some guys in there, whatever. So at number 12, I have El Gallo, Juan Francisco Estrada. I know LB and some people might, feel like, oh, come on, he robbed, the Chocolatito fights, but he rises to the occasion. Like, when he came back and he was struggling a little bit with the one dude who actually is pretty good, I think Israel Gonzalez, Francisco, he rises to the occasion. I want to see, 115, I want to see Bam versus him for sure.
Now, has he even fought? Did he even fight in 2023? Or am I tripping?
That's what I'm saying. And you got this nigga on the list.
Nope. That's why I didn't have him on the list because he's too inactive.
Inactive. Yeah, that's true.
Damn.
That's true. Some people would probably put Ioka on the list. I was never really a fan of Ioka, so whatever.
Shout out to Blazing Killer. I see you, Playboy. I see you.
Number 11, I got Shakira Richardson, the runner.
Oh, damn.
No. I mean, Shakur, again, I still think he has, number 1 pound for pound talent with, the Bam, the Boots of the world, things like that, Haney, down the line. But I don't know. There's something with him, like, he doesn't want to engage. I don't, like, that was, I mean, come on. You had a picture with Crawford, Ward, and Floyd was at your fight. Floyd was at a top-ranked fight. Showing love to Shakur, and he probably left like how Kobe left that one. That meme with Kobe leaving the game in the Lakers. That nigga Floyd. They showed him in the beginning. I didn't see him after. I didn't see him after the second round. Shit, getting booed and shit. Like, Yeah, that was this.
Well, hold on. Floyd gave us the Baldomir fight, so he can't really
That's true.
complain about niggas having, running ass, boring performance.
I don't really rate Edwin. I don't really rate Edwin that high. He's the top 10 lightweight, but Shakur should have. I don't know. I feel like his chin, you don't trust it. Bud probably takes it easy in sparring. Number 10, I got.
That nigga too competitive to take that shit easy.
Yeah. Bud probably beat that ass. Pause.
I know, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. But number 10, I got one Abdul Tank Wahid, Gervonta Davis, one of the faces of boxing. Talent wise, I think, true talent wise, like in terms of his IQ, power, speed, everything. He's top 5-ish to me personally. I'm a nigga that likes knockouts. He's slick, but yeah, I mean, obviously the elephant in the room that everybody complains about is his collection of names, his resume, which I think isn't that bad. Obviously Haney beating Regis, give him the nudge, and Tank's a little older and all that. But when it comes when they compare him to Shakur,
hold on, nudge, nigga, that's a full blown push.
That's true. That's why Haney's high on our list. But I feel like some of the fans just hate Tank because he represents, the black side of boxing. I don't know. I feel like a nigga like Shakur is a 3-division champ. His collection of names is not as, Tank's, and I don't know. I just think, but yeah, obviously, I think Tank needs to, maybe he's good on the gravy train and whatever, just taking it easy, getting those dubs. But I'd like to see him fight, actual 50-50 fight before he retires. Number 9, I have Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He's young, 2-division champion. The angles he has, what I'm saying. The way he beat Sonny, even though it was a great, solid fight. Bam's special. I think 115. I think he should go back up to 115. And I don't know if I could see anybody beating him at one. I mean, Chocolatito's older up in there. I'm just saying, Tekken brand. Again, I think if he beats Estrada at 115 and just has a nice reign at 115, I think he has potential to be in top 3 pound for pound, skill wise. Number 8, I have Better Beef. This is before the Better Beef fight because I think the common thought was that Bivol will beat Better Beef because Better Beef has these injuries in Father Time, and he had a hard fight with Yarde. Yarde's a strong, he's not a bad fighter. But the way he beat Colin Smith, now I'm like, I think he might beat Bivol. I think I favor Better Beef. I mean, Bivol's a technician, but Better Beef is a really good boxer. He can do everything pretty well, and his power is just demonic. You know what I mean? His power is demonic. Yeah, so I can't wait for that fight. Definitely. Number 7, excuse me. Number 7, I got Teofimo, the Showman, Takeover Lopez. Again, sometimes with my list, I have a slight bias. I have a little bit of the quote unquote eye test, and I like slick dudes, slick boxers that, can knock a nigga out or, at least, have some power punches. And Teofimo provides that. Obviously, he's had his hiccups, but if you beat 2 guys that are literally the top dudes in your division, you got to be up there, man. You got to be up there. See, if he lost a Taylor fight, Teofimo would probably be obscure and, he'd be done. So, again, I'm hoping he can get a knockout Thursday because I think Teofimo will eventually be a welterweight champ. I think him and Haney will eventually, that's my thing. I think him and Haney will eventually fight at welterweight. I don't see it happen at 140. Number 6, I do have Bivol. I've had him over Canelo for the longest. The inactivity hurt, but there's not many boxers as talented as Bivol. Obviously, the power, you don't get dudes out of there. He's disciplined and he does his thing. But Bivol is one of the best fighters in the world. I don't know if I favor him against Better Beef now, but that fight is hopefully lives up to expectations. Number 5, I have Devin the Dream Haney. Haney, it's an interesting case because I remember seeing him like on Showtime when I was getting back into boxing. I saw him on the Showtime. He was on Showbox, but had his own little, his own little documentary on the Showtime. For a Showbox fighter, that's kind of crazy. So they were Haney. Bill Haney. Salute to Bill Haney. His P Diddy shit, but the way he handled his son and made his son become a. So I don't know if you guys would you consider Haney a household name yet? I mean, he's kind of gaining popularity, not yet, but I feel like
no, I wouldn't call him a household name yet.
He might be a top 5 American popular boxer, right?
He got to fight Tank or Ryan Garcia to become a household name, or at least be right there.
I'd say he's a top 5 in terms of American boxers. He might be because there's obviously Tank, Crawford, Spence. Wilder, I guess, but after that, American boxers.
Teofimo's up there.
Teofimo's up there, but I think Haney is a little more, a little bit more. I think you're gonna see Haney be a little more selective with his matchups. Like I think that Sandor fight, because Sandor Martin's the Mando. I don't ever see that happening. I think Haney's gonna make strategically, but his talent speaks for itself. That kid, I don't know if he was special. But I think that Regis fight showed me that this dude is gonna, he's gonna be among the top pound for pound for the next few years. Number 4, I have Canelo Alvarez. Canelo is one of the best Mexican fighters of all time in terms of his collection of names. This day and age, I don't know if there's anybody right now that Pacquiao retired. He might come out of retirement, but Canelo might have the best resume in boxing right now. And obviously there's some disputes. The first Triple G fight, getting schooled by Floyd, losing to Bivol. But, he needs to fight Benavidez. Like, even if he loses,
if he had the best resume in boxing, he'd be number 1. I'm just saying.
I guess. In terms of, he's fought legit, the most legit competition, I would say. But yeah, if he doesn't fight Bivol, it's the biggest duck of this decade. He needs to fight Bivol. Like, come on, this guy said he's not going to fight Mexican fighters when he's fought. You
mean Benavidez?
Yeah. I'm saying he needs to fight Benavidez. It's still a 50-50 close fight, maybe, but every great fighter of their generation somewhat passes the torch. Like even though Floyd beat Canelo, it was still a passing the torch because I randomly was at somebody's house. They ordered a pay-per-view because Canelo's fighting, and I didn't really know much about Canelo. I'm just gonna be honest. So that kind of brought a lot of notoriety. He needs to pay it forward, but he's still obviously a great fighter. But
niggas don't look at it like that. That's like a rapper being a CEO, having a label.
Mm-hmm.
They not gonna want their artists to be bigger than them and shit, especially if they still platinum. Like,
no, he said, I love boxing. Well, give us the fight we want. Give us the fight we want. When is the last? I don't know. Number 3, I got Usyk. Inactivity and the ball play.
hello?
Pilot?
Pilot?
What?
Oh yeah, you just cut off.
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you for like 20 seconds or some shit.
Oh, I said number 3. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. Yeah, number 3, I got Alexander Usyk, the Dubois fight, and just kind of the inactivity after Joshua was kind of, but he's just he's still, what he's able to do in the ring, what he's able to do in the ring in terms of being the only undisputed cruiserweight champion besides Evander Holyfield, and having a chance to be undisputed in heavyweight like Evander did twice, I think. He's one of the best boxers in the world for sure. Number 2, again, I know me and Pat had the same number 1 and 2. Yeah, is the monster Inoue. Naoya Inoue. This guy's a complete fighter. This guy's can do everything in the ring. Literally, he can do. There's nothing he can't do in the ring. He's a special generational fighter, and is probably already an all-time great. But when he retires, he will be, as well as the number 1 fighter, Terrence Bud Crawford. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. the number one fighter in the world to me is Terrence Bud Crawford. I mean, you could put in a way there if you want. I just think being the first ever 2-time undisputed 4-belt era champion, the way he destroyed Spence in a 50-50 fight, 51-49 for Crawford in the odds, but the way he destroyed Spence was an ass whooping that will stand the test of time. I don't know about the Canelo fight. I know he wants that payday. I'd rather him fight the Thurman Zoo winner, and try to get undisputed there or something. He's getting old, man. So I understand why he wants that Canelo fight. And I see a path to victory, but I just don't. I know it's the payday, but if he gets knocked out brutally or something, it's gonna be a mar on his legacy. But if he wins, it's a whole other conversation. But yeah, that's my list.
That's what it is. Yeah, I mean Crawford is stuff. I mean, so I know that people were like, is he an all-time great? Is he a non-all-time great? Canelo would probably put him in that realm of all-time great.
Yeah, he has to be Canelo for them to get that. Everybody doing that pre-victory shit. Like, nah, he ain't all-time great yet. Like, biggest win can't be a nigga who's not even going to the Hall of Fame, and you are all-time great. Like, it don't work like that.
I mean, that or if Crawford, of course, unifies 154. If he does that, then yeah, that's because that's
Porter, Spence, and Khan might be in the Hall of Fame down the line. That's all I'm saying.
The fuck out of here, really?
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Damn, Porter's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. Maybe for broadcasting.
Yeah, I swear the lower bar, like I said, the
bar getting lowered like a mother-fucker.
Yeah,
no, I mean, hold on. This day and age, like we're gonna have to. If we don't, there's not going to be any Hall of the IBA.
Exactly, that's the point.
Yeah,
we're gonna be no Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to put some guys in that don't belong there. I mean, there's guys.
No. What will happen is there are fighters here who should be in the Hall of Fame and that have been waiting.
New niggas.
Like Corrales. Like Corrales. Like, no offense, I like Gotti, but there's no. I don't know how Gotti got in before Corrales.
Truthfully, Gotti should not be in, and Corrales is. If anything, Gennaro Hernandez should actually be in the Hall of Fame.
But he's not in there. That's insane. Yeah.
Like he's only lost to. He has 2 long reigns, and he's only lost to Oscar and Floyd, but he's not in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, the only fighter I don't care to see in the Hall of Fame. I don't care how long his fucking reigns are. Is that fuck from Germany? I don't want to even mention his name because his name pisses me off.
I already know.
Elby knows who
I might just say his name because you won't
Seven Aki.
You don't give Gotti his credit to be in, nigga.
But that's the only guy that's like, I better not ever see him in the Hall of Fame because he pisses me off. Like, he pissed me off a lot. Like, he made gift decision an art. You know what I'm saying?
The king of the split decision.
Yeah, Germany was so bad in those days. But let me just go through my list. Number 15 is Tank, and as everyone has heard me say before in the past, like I get on Tank on this competition. Like, I'm not like Ryan Garcia in a super featherweight does not move me. Like, and this is a guy who I do think is talented. He has the skills, but he's not. He consistently doesn't fight people that they can give him a fight. And this
what do you think? Like, okay, so what would be a satisfying matchup for him next? Like, is Frank? Like, what's the lowest bar? Like, is Frank Martin? Like, if you pick Valenzuela's next fight, I'm done. Kind of like thinking that dude's if he fights Valenzuela next. So is Frank Martin a valid opponent? Or
yeah, it's a valid opponent. Yeah, I want that. Like, I don't want no cruises or anything like that. He's already got upgraded a belt because he couldn't come to agreement to fight Haney when Haney was there, and it's just like, okay, like, what are we doing? And I don't put no stock in the Barrios win, even though he did stop dude, but it's just like, Tank just needs to. I think I'm way past the point of Tank. Tank needs to fight somebody that that's on a 50-50 type of basis with him. Like that, and that's the reason why he's there. He's at 15. Like, he can go up, but he's gonna have to want to go up.
It's so nasty. It's kind of nasty, that Coach Calvin Ford, is saying he's never gonna let Tank fight Shakur. That's just kind of, it's just,
and then now, of course, there are the reports that he's trying to fight Conor Benn, like serious conversations and all, which is why.
I don't mind that. I'm not mad at it.
That shouldn't really happen.
Nigga, weren't you there live seeing that boring ass nigga, and you up here talking about I don't mind it?
Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure.
Yeah. And then number 14 was David Benavidez. It's like I did. I didn't know. Actually, he had two great victories: the Plant victory and the Andres victory. But it's just like, obviously now he's kind of stuck in a little log jam because Canelo doesn't want to honor his mandatories, and he's finding he's giving all the people a run around, giving him the run around, because Canelo does not want to fight another Mexican, so he says, So now is now of course the chants are getting louder for Canelo. Canelo can't avoid this guy, not for very long. And unfortunately for him, Benavidez is young, so his prime isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Unless, of course, unless he sniffs it all up, but that's a whole nother story, a whole nother scenario. Number 13 is Emmanuel Navarrete. Navarrete had, like I said, quality. It's rare that you have all three fights that you fight this year damn near be all fight of the year candidates. Like, it's ridiculous the amount of wars that guy's got. And of course, he's picked up a belt as well along the way. But the last fight, Canseo was. Although he almost put dude away, but there's the fact that there's an argument that Canseo actually could have won that fight too. That's like, it's one of those things. Like, in Navarrete, I've always wanted to put on these lists, and I still want to keep him on this because honestly, Navarrete, if you look at his resume, Navarrete is beating a pretty wide range of opponents. From the ones who are extremely technical to the brawlers to the to volume punchers. Like he's taking them all on. But yeah, dude. I think he's more than ready for a marquee fight. And I know now he's going. Apparently wants to go up. Go up to 135. And pick up the belt there. But it's just like, yeah, we need to. He's more than ready for a career-defining fight. Number 12 is Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo, I think I took him off the list. Like before, but. The fact that he soundly beat someone who was a pound for pound top 5 on my list, and really soundly beat him, now he's again, he's a lineal champion in another division. Like he has a place on there, but like I said, it remains to be seen because dude. Obviously he starts with Jermaine Ortiz in about 3 days or so. So he can only add on to see what he can do. But yeah, Teofimo's gonna have to start because Teofimo's in a division. He has to leave Crawford alone. Bro has to actually fight. He's in a division where he has to, he needs to beat some killers. It's like, and he'll move up if he does. Number 11 was Stevenson. Like I said, like P said, like his stock dropped big time against Dos Santos, and before that, you thought that he learned from the Nakatia fight not to be fighting scared with someone he's fighting power with. And dude was actually putting his punches together. Dude was offensive as fuck. And then Dos Santos, he's running across the ring like it's a thing to do. Like scared to commit to any offense, nothing. And this is a guy I had in my top 10, but I was like, I punished him. I was like, yeah, he's gonna have to come up off that top 10 spot. Like I don't care if you are a lightweight champion. Like obviously, like a fight with Tank or something like that. Or someone like that at lightweight could move him back up. But yeah, he's gonna have to stop all this. I'm retired now. Look at me. Type of attention he's trying to draw to himself. He's gonna have to just like, look, man, I just need to stop fighting so scary. I need to see a sports psychologist, and then I just need to fight and be a champion. Dude has Crawford and Andre Ward on speed dial. Like, talk to them niggas. Like, Like, shit. Number 10 is Bam. Like, Bam is special. He is absolutely special. And anyone says otherwise, like, you just need to get the fuck out of here. Like, that Sonny Edwards fight. Honestly, I thought Bam would win, but I didn't think that shit was almost a fight of the year candidate. Almost. Because like I said, Sonny Edwards probably showed the most heart I've seen in a fight, like that part of year outside of Spence getting his head beat in. you know. But that fight was a hard fight, you know, and Bam passed that test with flying colors, man. But yeah, I know Eddie's trying to get has mentioned trying to get the fight with Estrada, which would probably be for the 115 division because Estrada's still a champ there, and Estrada has left a lot of bad feelings for a lot of people, some people on here, you know. So yeah, it's, you know, Bam's time is coming. Like, you know, like he can go me up. Number 3 is Ioka. Again, a choice there because dude does his. I mean, outside, you know, where you have Monster, who's like pretty much in your face, like who's bodying people left and right. Ioka's pretty much been working like with what he's done. I mean, he's champion in 4 divisions. Like, you know, he pretty much said mentally disturbed and very, you know, physically not really ready. Joshua Franco into retirement. You know, putting a second loss up his record. And yeah, dude's just been a model of consistency. But like I said, it's just, I mean, again, it's him. It's just like now he needs a marquee opponent. You know, just to push him, put him over the hump. Number 8 is Bivol. No, Bivol dropped slightly because, like I said, that inactivity after the year he had in 2022, like the fact that his only fight of the year was against Lyndon Arthur, and he didn't stop him. Although it looked like for a minute he was going to break that KO curse, it was just like
it looked like for a while. Then after you realize, after like round 7 or 8, you're like, okay, it's going to be watch, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. He had him going like in the 5th. Like, there's no reason that fight should have won the distance.
Not at all. You know, and I slightly penalized it, but like I said, dude is still. I mean, he still has a quality resume, and just like he needs, again, like the fight with Betterby will pretty much determine where. I mean, obviously a win, and you know, dude is probably looking at the minimum of a top 5 ranking, you know, for pound, and if he loses, well, it'll depend on how the other fighters have done to see where he places them. After that, number 7 for me is Jamel Charlo, and like I said, you know, I put respect on him doing what he's like, and I still think, I mean, because you know, dude, I mean, we talked earlier about Hall of Fame. Jamel Charlo is a candidate for the Hall of Fame. There's no question about that. But his legacy took a huge hit with that Canelo fight. Like that, I mean, that fight. And now, if he had put more effort into it and he just lost, then it would have been whatever.
What if he got stopped? I mean, I feel like he didn't want to get knocked down.
Yeah, because I remember I mentioned before, like dude before the fight wasn't look like he wasn't taking it serious. Like he had his family around him. Dude was having family time. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this motherfucker's going into
the energy, the cinnamon. I know his older brother called him cinnamon or GGG, but where was the fuck Canelo energy? Like, it was weird, yeah.
Yeah, there was no one there to tell him, like, bro, you're fighting Canelo. I think the money just got. I think that he got the money and was like, you know what? As long as I don't get hurt, I don't give a fuck. And he probably that where he's thinking that, oh, Canelo, you know, has been looking all types of washed, and he's like, yeah, I don't, you know, and then Canelo puts on, you know, probably his best performance in quite some time in doing what he did. So yeah, Charlo's still the man at 154, but he has some rebuilding to do with the man if he's actually going to do it. Mm-hmm. Number 6, I have Better Beef. And Better Beef is someone that I think could go up. I mean, Better Beef rules his division. Like LB said, like 175 is a punishing division. Like if you don't, like the inactivity is not because they're just inactive. Like if a fighter fights there, most likely that fight is super hard and they're recovering from whatever the fuck injuries that they got in their fight. It's a hard division. Like 175 has punches, legit has killers in that division that can punch. You know, and Better Beef is the ultimate killer at that weight. You know, and like I said, the Yardy fight was good. But the Cal Smith though was like he took apart Cal Smith like one sided. Like I thought he would at least had struggle with him, but no. Yeah. Cal Smith didn't have a prayer. He didn't even have a friend in Jesus in that fight. Like that shit was bad. He got messed up, and like his Better Beef usually gets a little tagged up, but he was looking mad, immaculate in the dressing room, smiling and laughing and shit. That's how you know that motherfucker's a straight killer. Number 5 is Usyk. Usyk at this point right now, I mean, the Dubois thing, I mean, yes, he stopped Dubois and, you know, it's cool and ever, but there's an argument now that what legitimately knocked Usyk out with a body shot, and it's one of those things that's just like, how about that? Now, Usyk could have obviously, due to what happened with Fury and Ngannou, Usyk was going to face Fury in December. That was the original main event for Day of Reckoning. Had Fury not struggled so much with Ngannou and God knows what, and Fury was like, yeah, I need a little bit more time. Else, they could, that could have been like he could have won that. He could have really went up in the rankings, but Usyk is where he is for now. And obviously the Fury fight, which is now scheduled for 3 months now, is going to be really determined to where he's going to go. I mean, obviously a win, taking fights in Future Zero and becoming undisputed heavyweight champion. I mean, that is enough for an argument to be number one. But for now, keep him at 5. Canelo's the one that got a little bit of a boost because, like I said, I'm not a Canelo fan. And, like I said, whereas if LB shits on Canelo, I'm the second in command that shits on him next. That's how it goes. But
yeah, I was like the Canelo fan on here, and I don't rate him that. I'm saying, but I'm a realistic guy. But I'm not even that much of a fan. The stands for Canelo are crazy. Like him and Lomo exception for the most part.
Yeah, but I have to give him his due because Canelo was looking like food, and Mel just. And that should have been like Mel's statement. Like he probably could have put the nail in Canelo's career. And I think Canelo knew that his career was on the line, and he fought like it. Fought super aggressive and everything, and just Mel didn't know how to handle that. And he beat dude up and down. So it's like, I have to give it to him. Like he wanted it more. He realized the situation he was in, so it kept this there, and he's still undisputed at 168. Mm-hmm. But that Benavidez fight needs to happen this year though, because else, he's gonna go back down. Number 3, Devin Haney. I put a lot of respect in terms of what young fighters are doing today. I don't think enough young fighters are not sacrificing to try to be great. Try to create a legacy and stuff like that. And that's the stuff I see with Devin Haney. Devin Haney took a short deal, traveled to get belts, and never mind the other shit he went to even before he got the other belts. And then after making the undisputed title defense, goes up the division and dominates Regis Prograis, like knocks him down too. Like it was one of them flawless performances. Like that shit was, and I put again. And I put all the credit in for that performance, and I put respect on his name. So Haney has people he can fight 140. Like obviously, a Teofimo win will can really do things, or that is if he does decide to stay, doesn't go to 147. Like he's been kind of musing to. But yeah, no, I put respect because, like I said, dude is sacrificing because he clearly has his mind on business. So I have to respect it. Number 2 is Inoue, and believe me, Crawford Inoue, I went back and forth from because honestly, these are the 2 top fighters in the game, and Monster has been like last year was amazing, like took apart Fulton like he had never been took apart before, and then the Tapales win just to close out the year, which was a surprisingly harder fight than I thought it would be, but he didn't waste no time. He unified the division in 2 fights and now is looking to make some more defenses. And, we got the Luis Neri fight coming up, which I'm pretty sure will probably be a bloodbath. For Neri, that is, not for Monster. And Neri's about to go catch some overdue karma for what he did in Japan before what got him banned.
I want to see that. I think Neri will be competitive for a little bit, though.
Oh, he will be. There's no question about that. But that ass whooping is coming because they're gonna test that motherfucker up and down just to make sure you don't got no shit in the system. But number 1, I got Crawford. Like, yeah, Crawford did that. Like, the Spence shit was like it was such an unbelievable ass whooping. Spence, I had to take him off my list completely because when you're the unified champion like that. And you're just beating from pillar to post like that, and losing every round except maybe the first round, like badly. You're getting fucked up. Yeah, I can't keep you. I can't in good conscience keep you in the top 15 because ain't no way you can lose in a good effort. You can lose by being brave, but if you're getting your head beaten, like I can't. As someone who was already top pound for pound fighter, like nah, bro. Yeah, Crawford is by far to me. I mean, he's clearly the best American fighter, and he's probably the best fighter in the world today. But I think with Crawford, though, again with him, he's gonna have to fight some significant opponents this year. Like, yeah, I mean, I understand, victory laps. You're doing your thing. Like, you are the baddest nigga in boxing. That's cool. But yeah, you gotta make some moves because all your prospective opponents are all getting caught up. Like, they're already getting signed to fight. So it's like it's only a matter of time before you might be left fighting some old bullshit or a Mando that you shouldn't be fighting. So, and of course, the Spence rematch is off the table now because Spence has another eye injury to get over. But yeah, Crawford did that. Two undisputed in 2 divisions, lineal in 3. Like, dude looks pretty. Dude is that he rules his division and some of boxing now. But yeah, no, that's my pound for pound list.
I feel like all lists were great. I'm biased. I love my list the most, but I feel like all our lists were top tier for sure.
Yeah, no, they are. Like I said, like I mean, there's nothing in there that's too crazy because usually in the past we've had some some people were kind of crazy like where they put certain people.
I might have put Tank number 10 a couple years ago. Y'all were tripping, whatever.
I mean, I had Crawford at 9, and people had an issue with that because of how I talked up Crawford. But I'm like, yeah, I see that, but I also see what he was doing at the time.
I think niggas was mad. They were telling me, why does this guy LB got Sherry what's that Canelo solo, type of shit. But like he just you don't know him. I'm just
listening.
Yeah, and obviously, we try to do this at least 2 times a year because, by the time we're ready to do this again in probably July or something, who knows? Maybe like the landscape will probably change again, like it always does. If it doesn't, that means boxing is moving incredibly slow this year.
I got the format. I got just damn update the damn images and shit. So
shouts out to Sir Cannon. He's one of our Discord TDBC guys, but yeah, and it's what they do. And this will eventually. I mean, and it's PBC is fucking up with the activity of these guys, like of Boots and stuff. So he should be. I mean, yeah, I think he's gonna be in the mix. Him, Bam, and Shakur, Haney, Nakatani. Those guys are gonna definitely be the next era, top line.
Yeah, but yeah, because with PBC, it's because like I said, they're now in a new platform, and for what we know of, there's only like 14 shows they're going to be on. So they have to figure out an issue of getting some shoulder.
Is it in the year? Like I know they said 14 shows. Is it going to be like from March to December or like March to March? You know what I'm saying? Because that kind of makes a difference.
Yeah, it's because with the roster that they have to be able to do more. And that's why right now there's only some of their fighters are signing elsewhere or they're signing on independent cards just so they can get a fight, because the Amazon only allows so many dates, and that's good. And to me that will affect. I mean, obviously, if we're doing pound for pound record, like if they're not fighting like once a year, and they're not fighting something significant, then what are you gonna do? Like you can't. Like Boots may have pound for pound ability, but he hasn't fought anyone at that level to put him on a pound for pound ranking. Like he hasn't, but. I mean, he got gifted a title, but it's just like he has to kind of do more.
Yeah, because like compare him to like David Benavidez and what he's doing in his division.
Right.
And some like Canelo fans tried, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't deserved this fight. This is his best year. Dude was a 2-division champ before 24, 25 years old, and he's gotten better. Every time we see him, like just give him the fight. Unless your man doesn't want to fight the big ass dude that's fast and strong, I don't know. It's still a competitive fight, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Disgusting if Canelo don't make that fight.
Yeah, and we feel for Boots too, but like I said, it's more or less of his situation over there. It's just like more not just his opponent. It's just like his situation. Like they need to iron some shit out too in terms of how he's gonna fight and who's airing it and stuff like that. Because that's still
he had to wait for Spence to either move up or lose to be the welterweight, even though he's not necessarily, because I know Cameron Duncan was who passed away was his manager, because technically Boots was at Showtime and not with PBC. So I don't know. Like, I know ESPN and Matchroom were trying to, I hate to say it, but I think he should go to. I mean, even though 147 is still his PBC land, Eddie would give him at least a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like at least a couple fights a year. The fuck?
No, Eddie is trying to sign him. He's trying to.
These niggas gotta have plans, though, man. Like they just can't be on
the side. He'd make Ennis feel like a big deal because Ennis didn't have a commercial. I think that when the Phillies went to the World Series, there was a commercial for Ennis, but I mean, it wasn't promoted. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like Eddie would at least, because Eddie has done a good job now in America. I feel like, with the American, with the black. I mean, Haney. I know Haney moved and left and everything, but with Haney, I mean,
Haney kind of did that more than anything.
But the homecoming,
Haney fighting Cambosis.
But I'm saying the homecoming, selling out the Warrior Stadium, arena, I mean, again, I hated it when he.
Yeah. I mean, Pro Gray and his people helped with that.
He hooked up with Andre and a few others, obviously, but I just know, like, at least because I feel like Boots ain't gonna fight. He had 3 fights a year no more. He's gonna fight. He should be fighting 2, but with PBC, he might only fight once, and that's just bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So I mean, it's either because that type of inactivity will either kill a career or cause a lot of short title rides. So it's like, yeah, you guys, that's a whole situation. Yeah, that has to kind of clear itself up, unless, like I said, Boots decides to sign away from because he was trying to, he was signed to Showtime. So I'm pretty sure he's a free agent right now because there's no more Showtime boxing. So it's like, eventually, if he might pull like Matias and like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go this, and I'll sign maybe one fight deal with Matchroom or some shit like that, or go to Top Rank.
But I feel like if he goes to Matchroom, I feel like that might sever his relationship because 147, 154 has all the PBC guys, so it's like if he goes to Matchroom doesn't really have a welter, he's gonna fight. We're not going to get the matchups with Boots, but at least he's fighting. I feel like who do you going to fight? Who do you fight at 147 that Eddie, can make for him?
His profile isn't going to raise at the zone. Like, he need to just go to PBC and see if he could get a Crowley fight or Barrios or something.
But I almost said no to get a fight first. I mean, Stanionis off a 2-year layoff. Like, they need to make that fight when Bud needs to drop the belts and let Ennis run 147 for a little bit.
I mean, Ennis already has one.
Well, just need to fight the niggas too.
Because he could beat Crowley. I mean, he could beat Crowley, Stanionis. He'd have 3 belts. I don't think he's going to be undisputed because that one belt's going to be on WBO, on ESPN. So, but he could easily get because Barrios is interim. He could beat Barrios for the WBC vacant belt or whatever, and Stanionis is the WBA. So he'd have 3 belts. So I think he'd still stay with PBC. But is he going to be able to get that before he turns 29 years old? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, his situation. I mean, it's not like I said. The things that are in his control, it would really affect his career going forward. And for Boots, is going to have to probably think very carefully about his next steps. It depends. Does he want to be inactive, or does he want to really defend his belt? And it doesn't matter, or he does one-off deals with Top Rank or Matchroom or Golden Boy or something like that, just so he can keep active. Because, like I said, he's only gonna get so many dates on the PBC side of Amazon because we don't know if they're gonna have any type of shoulder TV channel, to like they did before for like a FS1 or some shit like that, just so they could actually fight. So, yeah, that's his conundrum. But yeah, I can't justify him really being a pound for pound list because can't do it. Cannot do it at all.
He'll have his time, He'll have his time. And just I feel like PBC, with the amount of people PBC has, they almost need to have like 2 platforms to showcase. They need to have one where it's like all the stars and names, big champions, they're the Amazon niggas. You need like another mid-level platform or something that everybody, the up-and-comers or the guys who got a rebound or the crossroad niggas get the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the only way it's going to work, because if not, everybody's career is just going to die or fade into obscurity, signing with all these other different places and fighting on off the wall, nondescript cards and shit. Like,
right.
So it's something to think about. Like, I feel like the type of money they made, like, they should have their own DAZN by now.
Yeah, they needed a second. They needed, like, something fell through because there was Netflix or they needed a second network where they could have guys, you know, have like, you know, Brandon Lee, Gary Russell, those guys headlining, you know, shows. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like that's where them having their own very own platform would have been perfect.
mm-hmm.
Like, they made the type of money, they've seen what mistakes have been made. Like, they really need to be their own type of the zone by now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They should have their own app. Like,
And remember, just it doesn't have to be like the zone where you're doing all types of sports. Just focus on boxing, premier champions, and then just have only shoulder content and fights.
yeah.
Like, easily. I don't know why is that so difficult, or you know, to pull off. But like the type of money these, I don't like to count people money, but fuck it, like, you know, everybody does it now. You know, that's something that should have really been explored like years ago. That they should have been developing this and trying it out and you know, and getting experience with it with lesser names, and you know, so now it's just crazy. But I hope they figure it out, because it's too many names. The sport's getting too big.
They had the best year of boxing, you know. I mean, they did provide us the best year of boxing, and they have so much talent. But it's just like they're rotting on the bench. You know, it's like NBA, where like you got a couple niggas on the bench that could be stars, and you know, you just leaving them on the bench. Stupid.
That's the thing. All your biggest names all can't fight in the same year. That's the level they're at right now. Remember, there's niggas who ain't fight last year who probably gonna end up fighting this year.
I mean, Matthias, you know, Matthias going to a matchroom. I don't know if it's a one fight deal or whatever, but you know, they could have a 140 tournament that would have been lit. You know, like a little, like, you know, they could have had like 6 guys mix it up, and you know, for the Matthias belt. But stupid. Whatever.
Yeah, they got to get creative. Got to get the resources. It's just a lot of shit that got to go into it. But
Gary Antoine Russell's rotting on the line. That's all.
Yeah.